You have to get your money moving. Don't be like lazy cash here. I mean, he is so lazy. You gotta find a place for your money to go to work for you. So in today's episode, what we're gonna do is we're gonna dive deep into the world of private lending and borrowing. The do's, the don'ts, the how-tos, and we're gonna discuss one of the best places for you to put your money. But before we dive into that, there's this little button with this hand sticking up. Yep, it's a thumb. Hit that right now, and that's gonna help get this video out there. And make sure that you subscribe to this video by clicking that little button down at the bottom. And also smash that notification bell so you don't miss out on future content. The first thing I wanna talk to you about is why would you choose private borrowing versus the traditional bank loans? So the first thing I'd like to really ask you is, have you been to the bank lately? Have you tried to borrow money from the bank? Because if you have, you'll realize it's gotten a lot harder. Banks don't want to lend like they did several years ago. There's not as much money in the system. So banks are not going to be an easy place. You better fit the perfect square little box if you want to borrow money from banks, including institutional lenders like hard money lenders. They're getting more difficult. As the stock market starts to deteriorate, as the economy gets softer, banks and institutional money will become more difficult for you to get money. So that's a good reason. Plus, you probably need to close quick. If you got a good deal, you're gonna need to close fast. And if you try using a bank or an institutional lender, they're not moving at the same pace you need to move at. The next thing we gotta talk about is all you borrowers. So to become a good borrower, it's pretty easy, but you gotta do a couple things first. So let's talk about what you have to do. You have to be knowledgeable on what it's like to be a borrower. So what does it mean to be a borrower? Well, you're gonna go to someone like me who's a private lender and you're gonna ask me for money. You're out already. Why don't you solve my problem? And I'll tell you what my problem is and every other private lender's problem. We wanna make more money. So show us how your deal, your opportunity is gonna help us make more money. But you see, I don't wanna just see how I'm gonna make more money because that's just nonsense if you don't actually pay me. I need to know why I should lend to you. You should show me your deal, show me photos, give me a complete package, show me an appraisal of before and an after all the renovation appraisal. Show me what the numbers look like. Give me your personal financial. Show me that you actually have the means to pay me my monthly income. And then, why don't you go one step further? Talk to me a little bit about who you're working with that's gonna hold my money, your third-party escrow. Maybe it's a title company, maybe it's an attorney. Talk to me about that so that I feel comfortable knowing that you've done this before. I don't wanna lend money to somebody that doesn't know how to be a good borrower. So become a good borrower and then bring me the opportunity that solves my problem. And there's one other thing. This is a common misconception. A lot of people think that us private lenders won't lend to you if you're brand new and it's your first deal. I don't care. If you show me everything that helps solve my problem and helps me feel comfortable, I don't care if it's your first deal. You might even be thinking, who is this guy? And how does he know so much about this stuff? Is he all talk? That's a great question, isn't it? You shouldn't trust everything that you hear on the internet. I don't. So let me tell you a couple reasons why you should listen to what I'm telling you. First off, I spent 16 years as a high-level financial advisor. Some people say that that's the Wall Street world. So I understand money and I understand how it works in the Wall Street world. But not only that, I've been on both sides of the coin. When me and my wife were doing our TV show called Risky Builders that aired on HGTV, we were a really good borrower because we needed a lot of money from private lenders. So I learned how to position my deals. I learned how to solve other people's problems, and I always made the payments, no matter whether or not we made money or lost money. I knew my reputation was the hardest thing to earn, and no matter whether or not we had a good deal or a bad deal, my lenders always got paid. But then, as I sold off real estate, I had money, and I started lending money. There was a mentor of mine who once told me, the ultimate in real estate is being the bank. And you know what? I agree, because that always seemed like the lenders were always the ones making the most money. So when I had money, I started lending that money to people that I hoped would have been like me. People that would pay me even if they lost money. People that demonstrated strength and knowledge. But that was hard to find. So let me just sum up why you should be listening to me. Number one, I told you I had a bunch of experience in Wall Street as a financial advisor, 16 years to be specific. The other thing that I had is I've been on both sides of the coin. I've been a borrower and I've been a lender. So that makes me very qualified to teach you how to be one or the other. And let me put the cherry on the top. I built an entire technology company that solves both of your problems. I don't care if you're a lender or a borrower, someone with money and somebody that needs money. I created the first dating site for money. That's right. I've created a community and a platform called Private Money Club, where people that have money meet people that need money, and they come together just like a dating site would, except for the goal of this dating site is for both of you to make money by solving each other's problems. Now, on the other hand, you might not be someone who's looking for money, but rather maybe you're someone that's looking for a place to have your money work for you. You want to be that private lender? Awesome. Private Money Club is exactly what you need. And my favorite part about private lending is this: you are always in control. When you're a private lender, you control the deal, if done properly. You see, most of you have bought a house or know somebody that's bought a house. Let me ask you a question. If that person doesn't pay the mortgage payment, what happens? Well, that's right. They lose their house. The bank takes the house. They foreclose on the house. Well, when you're a lender, when you're the person that has money and you lend it out as a private lender, you are in control just like the bank was in control that I just explained. If the person that I lend money to doesn't pay me, I'm in either a first or a second position on the deal I'm lending on, which means I'm taking the deal. And because I've underwritten the deal to make sure that the deal has enough meat on the bone, then if I have to take the deal back, I'm actually making more money than if you paid me my monthly payments. You see, for the private lender, it's all about controlling the deal, because I win whether you win or lose. And that's the best part about being the bank. But here's the thing, becoming a private lender definitely can be intimidating at first. It has its pros and its cons, but there are a few different ways that you can minimize the things that it could go wrong and maximize the things that could go right, like maximizing the return on your investment. So here's just a couple quick things. When you're doing the underwriting, when someone comes to you that needs money, here's the best advice I could ever give you. Instead of worrying about underwriting solely the deal, look at the person that you're lending the money to. Underwrite the person, because they're the ones that have to make the payment. Have they ever defaulted on another loan? What's their credit score? Do they have personal assets and personal income that could support you even if the deal didn't do well? These are some of the most important things that are often overlooked. Not only that, if you're a private lender, this is the best advice I can give you right here. Get an attorney that understands real estate. If you got an attorney, they're gonna look out for you and make sure that everything's done properly. The note, the mortgage, all the recordings, and they're gonna make sure that you're protected. But if you try to do it on your own because you don't wanna pay the attorney, you're really hurting yourself. Matter of fact, why don't you just have the borrower pay for your lawyer's expenses? Because they need the money, right? So make them pay that. The bank does, don't they? I hope this video helped you and helped provide some clarity on what private lending and private borrowing is all about. And if you want to get started, well, just go to privatemoneyclub.com or call 833-JOIN-PMC. And you can get into Private Money Club right now, where it's a swipe left or a swipe right to success. Also, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more of these, then help me out and click that little subscribe button so that you're part of this channel. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out this one right here, how private money lending works in real estate. We'll see you next time.